Round 24 of the EFL Championship was absolutely huge. A big victory for Millwall, Sheffield United defeating Stoke, and Ipswich Town doing the double over Coventry City. But what is going to come next and what is going to happen as we head into round 25? Now, there's some big games to keep your eye out for. Middlesbrough, they travel to Derby County. Ipswich host Oxford, and Coventry City, they face Charlton. It's going to be a huge set of fixtures this weekend, and it's one which is going to be absolutely massive for the EFL Championship. Now, obviously, if you have not done so already, this is the EFL Champ Focus. We do our previews and predictions every single game week, so if you have not done so already, hit like, hit comment, and subscribe. Turn on that notification bell, but let's dive into it. Now, game number one is Blackburn versus Wrexham, and I think if you look at both of these two sides, Wrexham certainly finding some form over recent weeks with 7 goals in their last 2 games, conceding 4 as well, so they're definitely an opposition that you can score against. Blackburn Rovers undefeated in 3 but only 1 victory, and a draw at 0-0 to Sheffield Wednesday is not a result they'll have wanted to have picked up. Now, if we do go ahead and look at the league table, Wrexham currently 11th on 34 points, Blackburn currently 19th on 27, but they do have a game in hand after having 2 games postponed earlier this season as a result of a waterlogged pitch. We look then at the head-to-head, and Blackburn take the biscuit here with 1 victory back in 2024 and 2 draws going all the way back to 2013. Wrexham have never beaten Blackburn in a head-to-head game so far this season. Now, if I'm going to predict the score for this one, I'm going Wrexham 1, Blackburn Rovers 1, and it is going to be a draw for the 2 sides. We head then into game number 2, which is Bristol City hosting Pompey. Now, I'm going to be completely honest. I think Pompey have been very, very poor recently, but they've found themselves on a run of 4 unbeaten with 2 wins in that as well. A win against Blackburn, a draw against Derby and QPR, and victory over Charlton Athletic, which saw a last-minute equaliser for Charlton and a last-minute winner for Pompey. It was a huge game for Pompey in that one. You look then over at Bristol City. It's 2 wins in the last 5, 2 defeats against Coventry and Millwall, but who is going to take the victory in this one? We look at the league table. Bristol City will be favourites with 36 points from 24. Pompey 25 from 23. With a game in hand, we're starting to see a gap be built to those teams in the relegation places. It's currently 3 points, but if they were to win their game in hand, it would see Pompey go to 28 from 24, and that would put a 5-point gap, between Oxford United and safety. Now, Oxford United have recently got rid of their manager. We'll go into that a little bit later on. Now, as we look at the head-to-head, it is Bristol City with 5 wins to 5 draws and 2 wins for Pompey. There hasn't been a win for Pompey against Bristol City since December 2024. That is over a year ago. And if we look at the second game of last season, it was a 3-0 thumping from Bristol City and 1-0 from Bristol City back in November. For me, I've got Bristol City 2, Portsmouth 0. Although Portsmouth are back on form, I just can't see them getting the better of Bristol City here. Now, Charlton, they host Coventry as they are starting to slip into those relegation places. I spoke about it earlier this season. I just feel as if Charlton are like Derby County last year. Had a really good start, got themselves in a really good position, but then ultimately fall away at the final hurdle. Now, if we look at recent results, it's only 1 win in the last 5 for Charlton, 3 defeats to Pompey, Norwich and Middlesbrough, with a draw to Birmingham in there as well. They did beat Oxford, which gave them a little bit of a gap to the bottom 3, but obviously with results not going their way, they're certainly falling back into it. Now, in terms of Coventry, it's 2 wins, 2 draws and 1 defeat for them in their last 5. Ipswich have done the double over them, but Coventry City are still miles clear at the top of the table. They've got 10 points to Ipswich now, who are 3rd, and that obviously means 10 points to playoffs, which means they're pretty much safe at the moment. We look then at Charlton, who are 27 from 23. Obviously, a game in hand on 30 could put them up to 17th. But it's going to be interesting to see how that develops, you see. Obviously, Charlton, with a defeat, could really slip back into this sort of pack here where you've got Oxford with 3 points got up to 25, Norwich up to 24. It's definitely going to be an interesting one heading into this one. But if we look at recent games, it's 3 wins to Coventry, 1 draw for both teams, and then a win as well. If we go back to the last win from Charlton Athletic, it was back in 2016 when Charlton and Coventry were in League One. So I can't really see anything positive coming for Nathan Jones here. For me, I've got Charlton Athletic 1, Coventry City 3. But you can obviously let me know your predictions down in the comments as we head to Pride Park Stadium where Derby County take on Middlesbrough. Derby County have been horrific recently. A big win against Sheffield Wednesday. An okay performance against Birmingham, but other than that, we've been very, very poor. Defeat against Leicester, spells 2 defeats against Leicester in the last month, and it's not looking good. Now, Middlesbrough, they've lost 2 of their last 5 with 1 draw in their last 3 as well, which is... It's a disappointing run for Borough after going on such a good spell with the new gaffer. You look at the league table, they've slipped. They haven't slipped, I do apologise. They are still second with 43 points from 24. You look then at Derby County, 32 from 24. I don't really think Derby are in any danger of going down this season, but they're certainly in danger of not finishing sort of in this mid-table pack if they don't find some form quickly. They are anticipating the signing of Oscar Frullo. As of time of recording, it has not been confirmed. We'll have to wait and see how that one goes. We look at the head-to-heads. Middlesbrough, 12 wins for them, 7 wins for Derby and 6 draws. Derby last beat Middlesbrough last August. It was a massive victory. I think it was the first win back in the Championship. Caden Jackson scored on the counter in the 14th minute for that one. But it'll be interesting to see how that develops. For me, though, I've got Derby County 0, Middlesbrough 1. As a Derby County fan, it pains me to say that Derby County are going to lose, but I really do think we will. As we head on to Stoke City's travels to Hull, it's going to be a big game, a huge game, because Hull are on some incredible form. 4 wins in their last 5. The only time they've dropped points in their last 5 was against Sheffield Wednesday, which is a hugely disappointing drop of points, to be quite honest. You look then at Stoke, it's 3 defeats in their last 5. Their only win coming against Swansea. It's not really going to plan for Stoke City recently, who have fell all the way from, I think they were second at one point, down to 10th, and now have a 9-point gap to second place. There's a big gap to Hull City as well. I think about 7 points. Hull sitting 4th on 41. It's going to be a big game, this one, as both teams look to pick up victories and get themselves back flying. But Stoke City have 11 wins in the head-to-head to Hull City's 6. And there's 3 draws in there as well. We go back to November, where Hull City came away 2-1 victors. But before then, they hadn't won since 2024 in September, where a 3-1 victory took Stoke City to defeat. Apologies, I'm clumsying up my words there. But for me, I've got this one, Hull City 1, Stoke City 0. I just can't see Stoke City winning. Just think they're on a little bit of free fall as we head to Ipswich versus Oxford. Ipswich in some really good form. 3 wins in their last 5. A poor defeat to Leicester, but a big draw against Millwall. They're in a great position. Oxford picked up a great win against Southampton. I'm almost certain Southampton lost that game because, as a result of their rivalry with Pompey, rather than helping Oxford, if I'm completely honest. But it's 3 defeats in their last 5. They recently sacked Gary Rowett. It's not a great position to be in if you're an Oxford fan. Ipswich on 41 from 24, battling for those automatic promotion places, which I do think they will get in over the course of the next few weeks. Oxford have a 3-point gap and have played a game extra to Pompey, who have 25. Oxford have 22. They're going to be hoping that they can turn it around over the course of the next few months. But if we look at the most recent fixture, Oxford actually won that game 2-1 back in November. Are they going to be able to do it again? You can let me know your thoughts down in the comments. For me, though, I've got Ipswich 3, Oxford United 0. As we head on then to Preston, hosting Sheffield Wednesday, I'm going to be completely honest. As I always say, I can't see any way Sheffield Wednesday get anything out of this game. They look like they're down tools against Derby, but they've picked up 2 good points in recent games. They are pretty much already relegated. For me, I've got Preston 1, Sheffield Wednesday 1. Yes, I'm predicting Sheffield Wednesday to get a point. It's going to be 1-1. I don't know why, just got a feeling. They're in a decent run at the moment. Now, QPR, they host Norwich. In terms of both teams, the form isn't necessarily spectacular. 2 wins apiece. There's 2 draws in there for Norwich. There's 2 defeats in there for QPR. It's going to be interesting. It's going to be an interesting one. Now we look at the league table. QPR 9th, 3 points outside of the playoffs. Norwich 23rd. They are 4 points away from safety, and they've played a game extra. It is not looking good for Norwich City this season. There is a chance they could be playing League One football in 2026, but you can let me know your thoughts on that down in the comments. We go back to November. Norwich City beat QPR 3-1. They're going to hope it's going to be a return of that. But if you look at the head-to-head, Norwich 11 wins, 8 draws and 3 wins for QPR. Can they get the job done this weekend? I think it's going to be a great opportunity for Norwich. I think it's going to be QPR 0, Norwich City 1. I believe they have Sargent back, which is going to be absolutely massive. We head then on to Southampton versus Millwall. Both teams in a little bit of free fall, if I'm completely honest. Southampton have lost 2 of the last 5 with 2 draws. Millwall have lost 2 of their last 5 with 2 draws as well. They did obviously win their most recent game against Bristol City. I'm pretty sure it was a late goal as well. Yeah, Langstaff in the 81st minute. If we go and look at the league table, Millwall in 5th. They've dropped a few points recently, but I think that they're in a good position. If they can get some players back fit, I'm pretty sure they've only got a couple of midfielders fit at the moment. I think they'll be okay. Southampton 13th on 32. I think we're probably going to end the season with Southampton in the playoffs, if I'm completely honest. But it's going to be interesting to see how that develops. Obviously, a poor start to the season, shame for Sheffield Wednesday. But I think both of those 2 teams, come the end of the season, will be really pushing for those playoff positions. We look at the head-to-head. Millwall 3 wins, 1 draw and 5 wins for Southampton. Millwall won the last game 3-2 back in November with a 97th minute winner, which you cannot turn down. Now, obviously, you can let me know your thoughts on this prediction, but I've got Southampton 1, Millwall 2, as Millwall travel to Southampton. We've got 3 games left, and it's Swansea taking on West Brom. Form, not great, but Swansea are finally getting themselves into a little bit of a rhythm. Win 1, lose 1, win 1, lose 1, win 1, lose 1, win 1, lose 1, we win 1, we lose 1, we win 1. But yeah, you get the gist. They're not in a great space, but they're finally getting a rhythm. West Brom, on the other hand, I've got no idea what's going on with them. Sometimes they play well, like the 2-0 victory against Sheffield United and the win over QPR. Sometimes they're just very poor. Now, I know there's a lot of conversations going on about West Brom at the moment in regards to the goalkeeper situation, the management situation, but they have 31 points from 24. They're not in an awful place. Swansea, 29 from 24. I think both of these teams will probably end up top half come the end of the season, but it's a difficult one to judge this because both teams are so hit and miss. It is 10 wins for West Brom, it is 4 draws, and then 13 wins for Swansea. The most recent Swansea win came in January of 2024. The most recent win for West Brom came back in November. They do play each other in the FA Cup in a couple of weeks as well, which is going to be a big game. For me, though, I've got Swansea City 1, West Bromwich Albion 2 in that game. We've got Watford versus Birmingham as the final 3 o'clock kickoff of the day. I'm going to be honest, I don't really want to think too much about this one. Watford 2, Birmingham 0. Believe me, put a bet on it. I'm joking. Bet responsibly. Don't bet. Watford 6th, 38 points. Birmingham 15th with 31. Head-to-heads, 10 wins for Watford, 3 wins for Birmingham, 2 draws. They won 2-1 back in December. Watford are going to turn this around. Trust me. It's going to be Watford 2, Birmingham 0. Final game of the weekend, Sheffield United versus Leicester City. The form for both teams, bit hit and miss. But Leicester just beat Derby. Sheffield United just beat Stoke. Heading into this one, it is going to be huge. Leicester City are 12th on 34. Sheffield United 17th on 29. It's being rumoured that Patrick Bamford has signed a new 2-year deal as of time of recording. And that could be absolutely huge as they look to propel themselves up the division in the second half of the year. Head-to-head, Leicester take the biscuit. 7 wins to 1 with 1 draw in there as well. But the most recent game was a 3-2 victory by Sheffield United with Cannon, Riedewald and Peck scoring early on. Leicester City had a fight back, but it did not come to fruition. For me, I've got Sheffield United 2, Leicester City 1, as Sheffield United propel themselves up the division. Now, if we go and look at the league table as of time of recording, it is a very interesting table to look at. The playoffs the playoff hunt is going to be huge in the second half of this season, but we're starting to see a bit of movement at the bottom end of the table. We're starting to see some teams pick up some results. We're starting to see some teams fall off, like Derby County, like Charlton. But who is going to end up in those relegation places? Let me know your thoughts down in the comments. If you have not done so already, hit like, hit comment, and subscribe. The EFL Champ Focus is over on Instagram, TikTok, and Twitter. We're going to have videos coming your way across the course of all platforms. So hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. Check out all the socials down in the description. I'll catch you in the next one. Bye bye, guys.